So for today's lab, you'll see we have the test tube rack. We have 4 test tubes in here because we're actually going to be sharing with another class. We have a graduated cylinder. We have a packet of Domino sugar, and we have 2 balloons. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to pretend that yeast is already in these test tubes. If we're the first group to be using the test tube rack, we can pick either set of test tubes, maybe pick the one on the left, just to make life a little easier. If you're the second group to get this, you'll already see 2 test tubes have been set up for you, and if that's the case, just try to leave those pretty still during the course of this lab. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to take your sugar packet, you'll open that up, and you're going to be adding that to test tube B. This is really important because test tube B is our experimental. Test tube A is our control. So try to do that without spilling any. And you can see that goes straight to the bottom. And remember, our yeast is already in there. So next step, we're going to add 25 milliliters of water. So make sure you fill that up to 25. And we're going to add that to each of our test tubes. So test tube A, we're going to add 25 milliliters of water. So that'll just be yeast and water. And then test tube B, we're going to add 25 milliliters of water as well. Okay. So now you'll start to see there's a little bit of movement. And we're going to be adding, lastly, our balloons. So you'll notice that each balloon has some writing on it. And this designates what table number, what period, and which test tube. So you'll see on the left here we have table 2, period 1, and test tube A. And then on our other balloon, we have table 2, period 1, test tube B. Make sure that these are correct for the table that you're sitting at. So look up and double check that that's the table you're sitting at, the period that your class is, and then you're going to place this on the test tube that's labeled. So this one says letter B, so I'm going to take my letter B and I'm going to gently stretch out the end of the balloon and place it on top of the test tube. Okay, so obviously there's no air in it right now. Try to kind of center it so it's sitting right on top and it's nice and tightly on there, and then you can just kind of let that fold over. Do the same thing for test tube A, and what we'll do is tomorrow when you come in, we'll actually be recording the results of if those balloons expand over time. Okay?